Hey, all y'all out there in YouTube land. Hope you're doing well. So today I want to show you a Cubase video on just a few of my very favorite key commands. Some of them are my own custom ones and some of them are the factory ones. But these are the key commands that I use all day, every day, and you should know them too. Alright everybody, so here we are in Cubase. So I went ahead and I just dropped in a loop here, just a drum loop, no big deal. And it has 4 different sections, and so I'm doing that so I can kind of show you what some of my favorite key commands are. So we're going to just be doing everything within the project window here, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up and let's get started. So we're going to open up the file key commands. If I can actually get it. And okay, so here's our key commands window. If you don't know this window, you should. It's awesome. So the very first one I want to show you guys, let me actually close this and show you what happens. If you look up here in the Quantize panel, you see we're at 16th notes, and the key command I have here lets me toggle between those, and I have that set up on the Q, W, E, and R on just my regular keyboard. So Q is 1/1, is whole notes, W is quarter notes, E is eighth notes, and then R is 16th notes. So I can really quickly toggle my grid to one of that quantization settings. I use this all the time. So let's look up how to get that. I should say I learned this from Nate Robenheimer in Protoculture. I saw him do this and I said that's a great idea. So if you go to key commands and you go to the quantize category here, and you look down and you see all these different quantization settings. And so, if you do tons of stuff with half notes, then you might want to have that be one of these things. But for the most part, I mean, I use the other ones a lot, and if I had extra keys on here, I might end up using them. But for right now, I just have my most used, which is whole notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. If you don't know how to apply these keyboard key commands, you just select it. So you would select this one and then you go over here and you just push this button and you type in the letter and then you click assign and you see it's already assigned. So let me remove that just to show you. So see, it's not here in the list. So I would go over here, select it, go over to type in key, I'd type in the Q key, I click assign, and it assigns it, and now it shows up in the list there. So those are that's my first one here. These are the set the quantization settings up here in the grid. All right, moving on. Okay, the next one that I use all the time that is basically, it's very related to that grid, the QWER, is the next one. For T, I went ahead and assigned that to the snap on and off. Because in my mind, it's kind of like, okay, I'm in the grid, and I want to get out of the grid, get in or out of the grid. So I assigned the snap on-off to letter T. And so you find that one in key commands. And then I believe it's just under, what you can do is just search up here for snap, hit enter, and then I don't see it there, so you keep searching your snap stuff, and then you can see it down there, snap on off, I assigned to T. So that's the next one that I use all the time. Okay, the next one this is again one that I just use all the time. I love this one. So check out what's happening here. Normally in Cubase, well, let's see, I'm not sure how I have it set now. So let me see, when I hit play, we're going to watch the playhead here. Okay, so there's 2 different ways that the playhead can react when you hit stop, and I'm just toggling play and stop with the space bar. So the way it's set right now is it'll play, and then when I hit stop, it stops wherever it's at. So there's obviously tons of times that you need that. There's also tons of times that you need it to do it this way, right? Where you hit play, and then you stop and it returns back. So what I've done is I set this, so we know that play is our space bar. Play and stop is the space bar. So that's super just in everybody's mind. So I created this one. The key command is control space bar. And what that does is this toggles between the ability for that playhead to stop where you stop or to jump back to the start position, right? So if I do control space bar, that comes up. And then I do it again, and then it's activated. So this is toggling between the transport, return to start position on stop. Every time I hit that, it toggles between it. Super handy. I use it all the time. Let me show you how to get to that. Okay, so in order to find that one, first I want to show you, because this is actually a preference, and you're modifying the preference from within the key command. So let me show you in the preference where that is. So you go to Cubase, Preferences, and you're going to go down to the transport view, and then up here, return to start position on stop. So this is what is being toggled when we do that key command. So what you need to do is you actually need to keep this off right now for the toggle to work. So you want to make sure that's unchecked, and let's hit OK. And now we're going to go to the key command. And so you remember that's a preference, right? It's in the transport, but it's a preference section. So you go down to the preferences, open that up, and you scroll all the way down to transport, and you'll see it there, return to start position on stop. And you see I have control plus space assigned there. So that's what that one does. That is a super helpful key command. I use it all the time. All right, the next one I'm going to show you is this is going to start working within the the ruler up here within this area. So one of the biggest ones I use is I select an area and then I hit P, and it moves your locators to that selection. And whether it's looped or not, it doesn't matter. So if I just select here, go there, it moves the locators to the position. Super helpful. I think this is a factory one. I don't remember. I've just used it for so many years, I can't remember. So that is called Locators to Selection. So let's find that in the key commands. Go to key commands, open it up, and just type in Locators to Selection. Sometimes the words don't exactly line up, but in this case they do. Yay. So Locators to Selection right there, and I have P assigned to it. Again, that may be the factory setting. I can't remember. A lot of these, I just don't know if I did it or what. But anyway, Locators to Selection, P. Use it all the time. It's a super fast way of navigating big projects to get to an area. You know, you can select like that, and you see how it works. It's great. Okay, the next one related to that, if we have our locators to position, I use this all the time, is I think I assigned this one, again, not totally sure. It's question mark, or in my mind it's like shift question mark, but you have to hit the shift button to get to question mark. So, and this zooms the selection that you had, or zooms to locators, technically is what it does. So if I zoom back out, so what this does is if I'm in a big project and I need to just work in one little section, I'll use the last key command and this one together all the time. I'll select that, I'll hit P, and then I'll hit question mark, and it brings me to those, it zooms in on that spot. So P, bam. and then question mark. Super handy. Again, you know, if you're in a whole area, you need to select it. It's the bomb. So what is that one? Let's find that. This is zoom to locators. So file, key commands. Let's see if it's just called that. Zoom to locators. There's a few things that are, they're called something slightly different in key commands than they are in the menu, so it's not always 100%. That's why I'm not sure. So let's see. Yep, zoom to locators is, I have it as a question mark. So there's that one. And let's see, I'm going to show you guys one more. This is the bonus. And this is again related very similarly to the last two that I showed you. And what this does is this toggles the loop on and off. Again, I think this is a factory one, but so this is the slash, or is it backslash, or the slash? It's the one right underneath the question mark. So I'll use these all the time, right? I'll select something, I'll set the loop, or set the locators, I'll zoom in, and then I'll zoom. You know, these are all things I do just constantly. So that one right there is transport cycle on and off. You can hover over it down here and you see it listed there, transport cycle on and off. So let's find that. Key commands, transport cycle. And then it has one that's already, that must be factory assigned for, I guess, if you have a number pad, which I don't. But then I have that, I think that's a backslash. I don't know, is that a backslash or a forward slash? You all tell me. That's assigned to that one. So there you go, that's a ton of stuff. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other camera for that final thing. All right, thanks for watching, y'all. I hope you learned something fun that you can use in your own studio for that. And feel free to leave a comment. Let me know if you have any of the favorite key commands, maybe of your own, or if any of these are really helping your game. I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, please subscribe. I want to keep these going and really build this channel. And yeah. All right, have a great day, y'all.